Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, yo! Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, I'm here. I made it. It's late, but I'm here. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. It's the Reese on the Radio Rundown, Sunday edition. Don't forget, you can check this show out whenever you'd like to. Just go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. How are y'all doing? I hope everybody is out there going to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to help out our good friends at Between Rounds, and also our good friends at Friendly Hand Food Bank that gets $1 for every peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you buy. Your Reese's peanut butter and jelly sandwich on hand for you to help out Friendly Hands Food Bank. So I hope that you're doing that, and I appreciate all of you who have done it so far. And you'll be doing it all month long if we can. I'd like to do it next month and next year and whatever the case may be. Anyway. Got plenty of news and plenty of views to get into today. I got, of course, on a personal note, if you listened to the show on Friday, I made a promise to my Emmy Award-winning producer, Roland, that I would take the wife on a pilgrimage for about an hour. We drove to 2 different towns and drove around, and I bought a T-shirt, and what did she buy? I don't think she bought anything. Oh, she bought some sunglasses. So we made it, quite, but we went to a museum. I'll tell you guys about that on Monday. That's going to be great. I got some video footage of that as well. Maybe I'll share that online. So we'll get into that. On today's show, what do we have to talk about? We've got to go into Kamala Harris a little bit. We haven't talked about her in a while because as it is, and I've mentioned this over and over again, I know that the news media says, we're tired of talking about the election. It's always election season in politics, okay? Regardless of what you think or whether or not you're tired of it, you don't have to pay attention to it. I get it. But the people who are trying to get elected, they are always trying to get elected. And Kamala Harris is kind of in a bind and a quagmire. We'll talk about her today. Democrats as well are in a quagmire. We'll talk about them as well. I did want to mention this because I didn't get to talk about it last week. And it's a story that's important to me because of the medium that it affects. While all of this talk was happening about the tariffs, China had made this proclamation that they were going to affect Hollywood by not accepting their films. And if you didn't know what that was about, let me explain briefly. Today, Hollywood is at the behest of China. They are. You might remember a story a very long time ago. During the filming of the new Top Gun film, Maverick, Hollywood was forced, or at least the production studio was forced, to remove a patch on Maverick's coat. And the reason why is because the patch is supposed to suggest an enemy that Maverick had vanquished. And that they knew in China, so they forced them to either digitally edit it or wear a different jacket, but it had to be removed. And of course they did. Why? Because the market in China. It's great when your movie can do $100 million at the box office domestically. It's great. It means that a hell of a lot of people went to go see your movie. And it's usually these over-the-top spectacle action films. Not just the superhero ones, the over-the-top action ones with big stars, like a Tom Cruise. But they make a bang for their buck beyond their dreams when they send these movies over to China. With one caveat I might add, and I've talked about this before, as long as the heroine or the hero or the protagonist is not a black male, that's another story for another day. But go look this up if you're ever interested. Will Smith's movies did not do well there. In fact, the most successful black lead film in China, I can honestly say, I'm almost certain in history, was the Black Panther movie. And again, probably because it was part of a franchise, part of a series. So if China missed it, they would miss sort of a lot of plot. There would be a lot of plot holes. So you sort of, Marvel is brilliant in knowing that Chinese moviegoers do not want to see a protagonist black actor. So they put Black Panther in sort of the lore of the Marvel universe. So you kind of force them to see it. If you watch Captain America, you got to watch Black Panther, right? So it's a great bait and switch done by the Marvel folks. But anyway, I digress. I'm all over the place here on that one. So Hollywood is worried because they've got a lot of these movies coming out. Superman's coming out in July. You got the Thunderbolts, a Marvel movie, coming out in May. You've got the Fantastic Four, another Marvel movie coming out later. So all of these movies have got to, they'll do well in the United States without a doubt. But in order to reach the $1 billion that these, movies have to make in order to either break even or at least, make some profit, it's got to go to China. So they are thinking with China in mind. So they're worried about this. Now, let me get to my point here. In my humblest opinion, this is Hollywood's fault. And the reason why I say that is you can't rely on one country to make your movie pop. We grew up making plenty of films blockbusters before China played a huge role. And that's what we've got to do. They lost so much credibility with the American audience, they relied on China, as we did with other things. You notice a pattern here? And now they're right back in that boat. So what does Hollywood do? They're screaming and hollering, going, we're going to lose a considerable amount of bread here. No. And I don't, maybe it's me. But if I hear that China may be affecting Hollywood movies, the first thing I'm going to do is innovate. I've got to make sure that I get every butt in America to watch my movie. I would just go over a completely different marketing scheme and say, you know what? We can't rely on China. All right, we'll use a couple of other countries that we can make a considerable amount of money for. We'll do the Japan thing. We'll do the South Korea thing. We'll do well there. Of course, we'll do Europe. Maybe we'll get lucky in India. But bottom line is, sell this movie in the United States. We have got record low movie attendance in the United States. So how do we get them there? And again, make the movies more patriotic, or at least appeal to them in a positive way. What do I mean by that? And this is the best way. I'll explain to you. First of all, if your movies are catering to the left, you are not catering to money. Why? Because the left doesn't respond financially. They respond by protesting. They respond to things with anger and vitriol. They never throw their own money at a project or a thing that they care the most about. Think about all of these paid protesters. They've got to line their own pockets in order to be involved because there's nothing organic about it. Now, conservatives, on the other hand, they let their money do the talking. And that's what Hollywood should say, you know what? I hate MAGA. I'm going to make myself a MAGA movie. And just say, you know what? Look, it's not like these people have any integrity, right? It's not like they have any laurels. If I were one of those people, I would be lying my butt off. I would be catering and kissing the tuchus of every MAGA supporter. This movie was going to make Donald Trump blush. Don't you want to see it?
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And just do that. Forget all that nonsense. That's just me. I'm just saying that. Forget China. Better start catering to MAGA. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Sean, where are you? Is she going to run for governor, president, or neither?
So I had an advanced copy of that book, Fight, by Jonathan Allen and Amy Parents, and I know Megan had him on the other day. I've got him coming up, and I read through it. If she ran for dog catcher, she'd lose. It is so bad when you start to read how horrible of a candidate she was, how the staff infighting, the inability to I mean, I really don't care what she runs for. Her decision making, her staffing are atrocious. So, go read. And again, two other reporters writing this, not me. She couldn't run for anything and win.
That was the morning meeting co-host and former White House press secretary under the Trump administration, Sean Spicer, talking about Kamala Harris and the book called Fight, which I've read, and I've gone over it like a couple of times. And the crazy part is who was the guy telling everybody that she couldn't run and win as dog catcher? That was me. I mean, all of these people coming to terms now with Kamala Harris's viability. Everyone, look, I'm just going to say this to you. This woman was getting kudos and accolades from people on the left and the right saying, no, it's a serious campaign when I press them. No, Reese, I think she really has a viable chance to win. You don't know what you're talking about. I disagree, they said. And I told everyone this woman was a joke. And again, it wasn't like they weren't there. It wasn't like I was somewhere from the future. It wasn't like I was seeing stuff that the rest of them didn't see. They all saw it. They all saw her abysmal approval ratings while she was vice president. They all did. I told you that Biden did not want to endorse her. Turned out to be true. I told you that Barack Obama didn't want to endorse her. Turned out to be true. I told you that she was going to be a DEI hire for that candidacy. Turned out to be true. I told you that this campaign didn't know what they were doing and many people were working against her to thwart her. Turns out to be true. I told you Barack Obama was working behind the scenes to undermine her. Turned out to be true. Everything I told you turned out to be true on this case. But yet, I was talking, and again, I'm talking about guys who are career folks in the political space. David Lichtman said it was, I interviewed him. I was talking to political analysts on the left and the right, and people were pushing back. I don't know, Reese. And I'm looking at them. I know, by the way, I never second-guessed myself. I didn't look at one of these guys and say, I don't know, maybe I should rethink. No! I didn't fall one bit. I did not fall for the okie doke. I told everybody from the get-go, 2022, chill. Everybody take a chill pill. We're going to be all right. And trust me, and if I had any doubt when it came to Kamala Harris, if I had any doubt about anything, I probably wouldn't have guessed the popular vote. But I was starting when that campaign was underway with the no-shows and the friendly interviews that she couldn't get by. When you can't get past an interview with Oprah Winfrey, you're screwed. When you are, and this was the other thing. Imagine this. And I'm on the record. You can find me on the record saying this. Speaking of the Oprah interview. The Oprah interview, aside from the fact that they paid Oprah millions of dollars, the people who went to that little town hall-like rally, all the celebrities that stood up for her, they were there via satellite. They didn't even take the time to show up. They were all on Zoom calls. Ben Stiller, Chris Rock. You couldn't get Chris Rock in the building? Seriously? Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, all of these people virtually, literally phoned it in. There's no way that this woman's going to win and anybody had any real enthusiasm for her. Again, remember, they were trying to be big, bad, wolf, fascist, Nazi, racist Donald Trump. And these people couldn't even show up in person while Oprah was interviewing her. No one took this seriously. No one did. And now they're going to find out the hard way. This is the crazy part. Kamala Harris got 9 million votes in California. Donald Trump got 6 million. And they're still saying that Kamala Harris can't win California in the gubernatorial race. How's that freaking possible? She got 9 million. Are you telling me that she's not going to be able to get 9 million voters in the state of California? And Donald Trump ain't in the race? That state that carried her? At least within a razor's edge of the popular vote? Because you keep bragging about that, the 1.5%. The reason why he doesn't have a mandate, because of all the votes that came out of California. This woman got 9 million votes, and you still telling me that none of those people, as at least a miscongeniality prize, wouldn't go back to the polling places for her? Are you trying now to convince me that they wanted her as president, but they won't have her as governor? She can lead the nation, but not us. Just think about that. And again, I will be the first person to tell you. They are concerned about her polling chances. They're concerned about Kamala Harris's gubernatorial chances as governor of California. Who's she going to run against? They are saying that against a Republican, she'd still lose. She got 9 million votes in the state. And she wouldn't be challenging Donald Trump. Are you telling me that California would show its true colors this time around? Are you telling me that California would say, upon second review? I just wanted to run because, I mean, what do you do after you lose 2 races? I mean, Beto O'Rourke is still around. He can't stop winning. What's her name? Stacey Abrams. She lost 2 elections. She's still around. Boy, you hear these people talk about the Illuminati. I believe in the illiberalati. Because you can only fail up as a liberal. right? You can lose as many elections as you possibly could. You could steal as much money as you possibly could, get busted stealing as much money as you possibly could, and you come back and you get another gig. Not so much for Anthony Weiner, though. I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he can. He tried. I don't think he can. Sometimes it's a bridge too far. But yeah, I think there is a illiberality. Illiberal. I think that sticks and tracks. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. I got to talk about this $8 million fundraiser of Chris Murphy when we return. Stick around for that. We'll talk about it. It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. It's Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Make sure you go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. Check out this show with limited commercials. If you don't get a chance to ever listen to the show live, you can go there and catch it. It's sort of simulcast at the same time. Anyway, so I promised Chris Murphy, we're going to talk about this a little bit because this Axios story was very excited for Chris Murphy, a guy struggling.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
To get the spotlight turned on him. And what I mean by struggling is if you are on television this much, it's usually because there is this get that people in the news media have for you. So what you see in the news media is got to get that guy, got to get him on, get in touch with his people. But as you know, if Chris Murphy were popular naturally, there would be a fight to get this guy anywhere. And there isn't. He just is everywhere. He is oversaturating his existence everywhere because he's trying to turn himself into something he's not. And that is marketable. He is what politicians used to be when they were horrible, when they were cookie cutter and plastic. That's what Chris Murphy is. He's a guy who looks awkward cursing because cursing is awkward for him. He is not natural. You see it through, like right through his. He probably is more natural behind the scenes. You know, when he's hanging out with his, 12, 15-year younger girlfriend, he's probably mad freaky. He's probably with her. He's probably letting the hair hang down, maybe let the bald spot show, You know what I'm saying? Maybe he puts a do-rag on with some ripped jeans, cranking out the Bruce Springsteen while he's working on his Firebird. It would be great to see that guy. But that's not him. It just isn't. Okay, but anyway, let me get back to my point. So we heard by Axios that Chris Murphy managed to get $8 million in his coffers. He's not running until 2030. What's the point? I don't see it. Nobody sees it. So a lot of people you may have heard even on the show during the week, I think Tim and Hamden said, he's running for president. Everybody's so overconfident. He's clearly running for president. My response to that is, whatever. He'll probably be a primary contender. He'll have that moniker as, for about a couple of months, former presidential candidate Chris Murphy. It's all for everybody else. It's always like it's a resume builder. And that's what this guy is. You can see right through him. And Chris, I know, buddy, if you're listening and you're driving through town, okay, on a Saturday listening to the show, you know that I know that everything about you is phony and resume building, okay? Just stacking the deck to make yourself look good. Everything is a PR campaign with you. This is why, never mind, it's not even important. So anyway, back to my point. So I went over some numbers. Now, Open Secrets don't have the $8 million tally up on their website yet. I assume they will. But I believe in research. I love research. And by the way, if you ever want to join the Reese on Radio research campaign, let me know. Contact me at reaseonradio.com. We're looking for researchers out there. And these are the guys who are the fact finders out there, people who know how to find the facts. And that's the Reese on Radio research team. Let me know. So I'm looking at some of the data. And I was looking on Open Secrets about the top industries that donated to Chris Murphy. And I found something interesting. And I'm not going to editorialize. I'm just going to state facts. And your wheels will turn. So it says between the time of 2019 and 2024, Chris Murphy raised a whopping $15.89 million. That's a hell of a lot of money. He spent $14.3 million, leaving him a total of $5.5 million. Now, with another $8 million in his pocket, that puts him at about $13 million years before his race, his senatorial race. As far as the presidency is concerned, okay, it's a good amount of money to have in your coffers, even though you've not even suggested an exploratory committee, even throwing your hat in the ring in a subtle way. Nope, haven't seen it. But I started looking at other numbers. Listen closely. He has the top industries listed here on Open Secrets. He doesn't, I should say. Open Secrets does. And the list goes health professionals, education, lawyers or law firms, they're in the same category, securities and investment, same category, and retired. Whatever number is in total is the same number that's in individuals. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up to the top contributors. In health professionals, Chris Murphy got $409,000. In education, he got $522,000. In lawyers or law firms, he got $965,000. In securities and investments, he got $999,000. But with the retired, Chris Murphy pulled in $2.9 million. That is almost triple securities and investments from the retired. And somebody went online and said, I wonder how much of those donations went through Act Blue. That's exactly what I was thinking when I read it. There's no way in Connecticut, in a struggling economy, retirees gave Chris Murphy $2.99 million. Ain't no way, ever. So maybe somebody needs to check in on that. I would love to be wrong, but I doubt it. I doubt it. All I want to know is if it comes from Act Blue. That's all. Act Blue is a reputable organization, aren't they? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. 3 times securities and investment? Now, it either means that Chris Murphy's not appealing to that crowd. He appears to have gotten $2 million from lawyers and law firms and securities and investments. As I told you, $965,000 from lawyers and law firms and $999,000 from securities and investments. Even if you throw in education, it's still less than the money he got from retired people. You take the 522,000, 965,000, and 999,000, and it's still less than all the money he got from the retired. Ain't no way. So that $8 million he got, that's some old okey doke right there. Say what you want, folks. Say what you want. You know that's some okey doke. We got to take a break. I didn't realize I was going this long. All right, we'll be back. More news, more views, and we'll wrap this puppy up when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Catch Reese on the radio. Reese on the radio. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right now. It's one of my favorite tracks right there. Do It by Gangstar. Featuring Nice and Smooth. Yeah, I know it's probably not your cup of tea. I'm sorry. It's just my era. This is 1992, 93. This weekend was interesting. Yesterday, I did something that I promised that I told Roland, come up with something for me to do over the weekend because I normally work on weekends. And I've been taking weekends off, or I have weekends off because I'm technically retired, even though I do radio. And radio is more of a hobby to me than it is a job because I love doing this. I love talking about, the issues, the stories, the entertaining, telling funny stories, anecdotes, all that other stuff. So it never feels like work for me. So really, I get to do the thing I love most and have it pay me a salary. So I'm very happy for that. And thank you, WTIC. So I have weekends off. I haven't had weekends off in 20 years. So to have a weekend off, I don't know what to do with myself. Normal people have been living their lives exploring places on weekends, going to coffee shops and museums and parks and flying kites and riding scooters and bicycles. Take whatever the case may have been. I have been working my fingers to the bone while you people take vacays. Anyway, so I don't know really what to do on the weekend. So Roland said, you know what? Drive 2 hours and go to a place to go, eat. So I tried that. I tried that on Saturday. I'll tell you a little bit how it goes, and I'll tell some more details on Monday. So stay tuned for that. 3 p.m. Eastern, of course, right here on WTIC. And you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com and watch it as well. Anyway, we went out there, and I found a restaurant. I looked up a town. I looked up restaurants. We found this place. We were going there. So we drove. First, we went to the doctor's office. Oh, I've got to tell that story. We get to the doctor's office, and I've got to get my eyes checked because it's, my annual checkup. And that was the whole plan. Let's do the doctor's appointment and then go to the town. Let's go somewhere and have brunch or lunch, whatever it took. We get to the eye doctor's. I'm thinking I'm just going to get my eyes checked to see if I need a stronger prescription and pretty much what my eye care looks like. And I got good news. I got great news. I'm absolutely no candidate for glaucoma. Even at 55 years old, doctor told me that my eyes look great. They look even better than they did last year. I'm like, whoa, I'm like regenerating. And of course, that made me feel great. And what I don't know is that they have to dilate my pupils. And they do. And you can still drive, but you have to wear these stupid shades on your face that, are plastic, and they're like the 3D glasses, but they clamp onto the side of your temples, and, you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I put them on, and I told them I don't want to put those on. I'm going to put on my regular sunglasses, which I did. And then I had to drive 55 minutes trying to avoid the glaring of the sun to pierce my brain, which I hated. Okay, fine, I do that. I get through it. And then I get all the way there. And guess what? The restaurant has a line around the corner. Around the corner. And it's not even open yet. We get there before it opens at 11 o'clock. It's a barbecue joint. It was around the corner. Turns out this random restaurant that I picked playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo turns out to be the number 5 barbecue place in the state. And everybody goes there every weekend. In fact, this place is so successful. It's open at 11 and it closes at 2. 2. And if something, while you're in the middle of it, while you are ordering, you could very well miss out because some people will order, either the, like the pulled pork or whatever. It will be taken off the menu. That's how it works. So when we looked there and I'm like, what's the likelihood? We saw a guy who we ended up talking to later on because we found another place to eat. We saw another guy that was standing online. He was leaving the restaurant with his family. It's about 2 hours later. And I was like, hey, how long did you end up waiting? He's like, well, we got there at 10:30. They open up at 11. He was halfway through the line. It took him 45 minutes from the moment that it opened until he actually got his food. 45 minutes, and then they ate for about an hour or so, and then they left. He tells me he lives in the town, and he goes there once a month, and it's the same thing. So we ended up going to this little hole in the ground and got sushi. At some point, it felt like I was eating sushi at a gas station, but it turned out okay. It was a nice space, which was absolutely empty. We had the place entirely to ourselves. Food came out great. I had a little bit of sushi, and it was great. I'll tell you some more about it on Monday because there's so much other stuff that happened that was hilarious and fun and funny. We met great people. I'm really, really glad that I went. And I got some footage. We went to a museum, and it is for a pastime I don't talk about. I talked about it on the air not too long ago, and that is I love trains. I really do. I love them. And we found a train show where they were selling locomotives and cars and cabooses, and they had every one of them from my childhood, and they had these huge tracks, and I took videos of them. It was so amazing, and we met these great people, and we exchanged telephone numbers, and I got to admit, in fact, we're having dinner with one of the folks that we met. He's an engineer with a patent. I'm going to actually have him on the show and talk about his app, which he showed me yesterday. His app is amazing. I actually start talking about that on Monday, so stick around for that. So overall, it was a really, really good weekend. I will tell you, I was encouraged to do it again. And again, it was all on the fly, which I'm really starting to understand. Spontaneity is really, that's it. That's where it's at. The planning thing, that used to be my biggest problem. I would plan something and it didn't go my way. And I would be frustrated that it didn't. So I love the spontaneous thing. Hey, we're going to go here and then we're going to play it by ear. And it was amazing. It was great. I got a T-shirt out of it. Met great people, exchanged telephone numbers, going out to dinner. Beautiful. And I found a new hobby. That's right. I have a new hobby. I am going to start collecting trains. That's right. I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to start relaxing and doing things. I'm going to try this out. This is going to sound crazy. I'm going to actually build a train set. Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to be cool. I'll tell you all about it. I'll post some of the videos online for you to see Monday morning before the show. All right. So that's about it. We'll talk about so much more. I've got so much stuff to cover on Monday. I've got guests coming up during the week. We'll talk about this case with this notorious tickler on Monday. I got to get some more details from the mom of the child that was abused in this case. I'm going to see if I can talk to her on the air, if she can legally speak to tell us what the details are. The school that is involved that tried very hard to cover it up and tried to do a conflict resolution inside the school. It's a crazy story. That and so much more. We've got the Hartford Police Union president calling the show on Tuesday. So we've got a lot of stuff to get into. It's back to the grind on Monday. All right, folks, as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good day. Pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here on Monday, 3 p.m. Holler.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.